You may have spent more than 60 years of your life playing a role the world handed to you. The role of the woman who is always gentle, always giving, always enduring. Everyone thinks you're strong. People say your sacrifices are beautiful, but only you truly know this. Inside there is a very quiet and very empty room. I'm not here to judge the years you've already lived. You did the best you could with what you knew then, with your fear of being left behind, and with all the responsibility on your shoulders. In this video, I want us to do something small but incredibly brave, not asking questions to your husband, your children, or your neighbors, but asking a question to your own soul. If starting tomorrow you no longer had to play the role of the good woman for everyone else, who would you actually be? And even more important, if the rest of your life unfolds exactly the way it is right now, when you reach your very last day, will you truly feel at peace with that? If somewhere inside you there was the tiniest no, just now, even if your mouth didn't say it out loud, then this space is for you. For many years you may have heard things like, "Without you, this family would fall apart. This house only stays together because of you. You've sacrificed your whole life for your family. That's so admirable." Those words might be true in some ways. But behind those compliments, have you ever quietly asked yourself, what about me? What do I actually want? If no one needed me anymore, who would I be? I want you to imagine a woman named Margaret, 68 years old. From the outside, everyone says she is the backbone of the family, the heart of the home. She takes care of everything for her husband, her children, her grandchildren. Meals, holidays, hospital visits, paperwork, everything passes through her hands. People look at her and say, "She's so strong. She has sacrificed so much." But when the door closes and she lies in bed looking up at the ceiling, a very quiet emptiness rises inside her. Her children have their own lives. Her husband, if he's still there, talks at her more than he talks with her. And when she tries to think about what she herself truly wants, her mind goes blank. It's not because she's too old. It's because for decades she was trained to be the good woman for everyone else, and she was never really allowed to build a relationship with herself. In Jungian language, she has spent most of her life living inside a collective role, a mask the world loves and applauds. The role of the long-suffering wife, the mother who never complains, the woman who always steps back and makes room for everyone else. This is why when you look back at the years you've given away and you feel pain, regret, even anger at yourself, you are not broken. You're simply beginning to see the truth about the role you've been forced to carry for far too long. Let me tell you another story. Anita is 62. She's been in a relationship for more than 20 years. No obvious abuse, no shouting, no hitting. He's just not really there. He's sitting in the same house, but it's as if he isn't present. He talks at her more than he talks with her. His eyes pass right through her as if she's invisible. Every time the loneliness inside their home gets too loud, Anita tells herself, "That's just how men are. At my age, who would I be with if I left? At least I'm not alone. That's better than nothing." One day, during a very small argument, he dismisses her feelings yet again and says, "You're overreacting. You always overreact." On the surface, Anita goes quiet, just like she has 1,000 times before. But that night, lying in bed staring at the ceiling, a question rises up that she can't push away. If I live the rest of my life exactly like this when I get to my last day on earth, will I feel at peace? Before her mind can list all the reasons to stay, before her fear of loneliness can shout over everything, she feels something else. Answer very clearly, no. It's not a scream. It's not a dramatic rebellion. It's a quiet no. Soft, but unmistakably true, coming from somewhere deep in her chest. In Jungian terms, that is the moment her true self sends a clear signal to the surface. At the same time, all the feelings she was taught to label as ugly anger, exhaustion, the desire to let go are actually parts of her shadow knocking on the door for the first time in decades. Starting over is not the day you sign divorce papers. It's not the day you move out. It's not the day you shout, "I've had enough." Starting over is the day you stop arguing with the no that comes from your own soul. Maybe you've had a night like that too, when everything was quiet and a part of you whispered, "I don't want to live like this anymore." If you've ever had that moment, your journey has already begun, even if nothing on the outside has changed yet. But as soon as you begin to listen to that, know something else starts to happen. Your heart races, Your hands shake. Your face feels hot. You feel sick. Guilt rushes in. You want to say, "No, I can't do that day. No, I'm not okay with being spoken to like that anymore." But your throat tightens, your whole body tenses, and instead you laugh it off and say, "It's fine. I'll manage." This doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you were born to suffer. For decades, your nervous system has been taught a very clear lesson. Safety equals everyone else being comfortable, no one being upset with you, no one being disappointed. Danger equals conflict equals saying no, equals showing up clearly with your real needs. So every time you say no to an unfair request, say, "I'm tired, I need to rest." Say, "I won't accept being spoken to like that anymore." You are doing something completely new for your nervous system. It doesn't know what's happening. It thinks, "If I say no, I'll be abandoned." So it rings every alarm it has to drag you back to the old fake safety of enduring and staying quiet. From a Jungian perspective, every time you are about to say no, your shadow, the part of you that was labeled selfish, demanding too much troublesome, is stepping one more inch into the light. Your body shaking is not proof that you're doing something wrong. It's proof that you're stepping out of the role of the good woman that the collective wanted you to play and taking one small step towards the person you actually are. I want you to remember this. The discomfort you feel in your body is not always a sign that you're wrong. Sometimes it is simply a sign that you are walking a new path. The old road, the road of constant endurance, is so familiar you could walk it with your eyes closed. But it always leads you to the same destination, that quiet, empty room in your chest. The new road, the road of loyalty to yourself, is uneven, unfamiliar, and it makes you shake. But it is the only road that has a real chance of leading you to true inner peace. To move beyond just understanding this with your mind and to actually change how you live the rest of your life, you need 3 clear pillars. Pillar 1. Stop negotiating the things that should never be up for negotiation. There are parts of your life that should not be bargained away over and over. The basic respect in how people speak to you, a minimum amount of time and space to rest, the right to say, "I'm exhausted. I can't do that today." In any sacred temple, there are areas marked "Do not enter." Not because the people there are arrogant, but because that is the heart of the temple. You are no different. You have a sacred inner space that deserves to be protected. Every time you allow someone to talk over you or belittle your words, invade your time and energy, decide how you should feel, you're throwing the temple doors open and letting anyone walk in with muddy shoes. Not negotiating on these things does not make you stubborn or difficult. It simply means you are starting to treat yourself as something sacred. Pillar 2. Stop rescuing adults from the consequences of their own choices. If you're a mother, you may be used to lending money whenever your child is short, watching the grandkids even when your body is exhausted, cleaning up the mess from decisions your adult children freely made. In Jungian depth psychology, when a mother carries everything for her children, she's not only betraying her own limits, she is unintentionally blocking her children's chance to grow up emotionally. An adult needs to be allowed to fall and to learn from their own consequences. When you're always there to save them, you keep them in a childlike state, and you keep yourself frozen in the role of the mother who is never allowed to rest. Letting go of the savior role doesn't mean you stop loving your children. It means you can finally say, "I love you, but I cannot spend the rest of my life cleaning up every choice you make." That is a deeply mature sentence for your children and for you. Pillar 3. Stop measuring your worth by how happy other people are with you. How many times in your life have you only felt good enough when your husband was pleased, your children were laughing, your relatives were praising you, your neighbors said, "You're amazing"? And how often has one person's disappointment been enough to make you think, "Maybe I'm a bad woman, maybe I'm a bad mother, maybe I'm not good enough"? When that happens, your worth is no longer in your own hands, it's in theirs. In Jungian terms, that's when the mask of the good woman has almost completely swallowed your real self. When you start to ask, "What do I truly want?" Allow yourself to rest even when others don't understand. Look in the mirror and say, "I deserve peace even when someone else is unhappy with me." You are slowly shifting from living in a mask to living closer to who you really are. Now we step into a very tender area, your children. Many women over 60 tell me, "I'm not afraid of hard work. I just don't want my children to be upset. I don't want them to think I'm a bad mother." Because of that fear, you keep pushing yourself saying yes, when every part of your body is screaming no. Let's come back to Helen, 70 years old. Her children are all adults with their own families and jobs. They really show up when they need something from her. Free childcare, help moving house, money, errands. Each time, even when her back aches and her body is exhausted, Helen smiles and says, "Of course I'll handle it." One day after another, draining weekend of watching the grandkids and doing favors, she sits down, takes a long, heavy breath, and a thought surfaces. If I died today, the last years of my life would have been spent running around doing things for other people. What about my own life? That thought is not selfish. That is her soul finally asking, what about me? In Jungian depth psychology, there are two mother images we talk about. The devouring mother, who carries everything, sacrifices everything, and never lets her children face reality. And the good enough mother, who loves, who shows up, but who is also a human being with limits, with the right to be tired, to rest, and to live her own life. That day, for the first time in many years, when her child asked for something far beyond what she could handle, Helen said, "I love you, but I can't do that this weekend. I need to rest." In that moment, her heart was pounding, her hands were trembling, her mind was shouting, what if they're angry? What if they think I'm a terrible mother? But somewhere deeper, there was a small, quiet exhale. Finally, I'm not betraying my body one more time. When you set a boundary with your children, they may be upset. That's normal. But their discomfort does not mean you're wrong. You are not a bad mother for saying, "I'm tired. I can't do that today." You are shifting from the devouring mother who saves everyone into the good enough mother who loves her children and also honors her own soul and body. Sometimes the deepest way you can love your children is not by making sure they never fall, but by allowing them to learn how to stand up on their own without using the rest of your life as their crutch. I don't want this video to stop at ideas that just sound nice. I want to offer you a very small ritual that helps your body feel safer as you begin to choose yourself. Tonight, before you go to bed, try this. Turn off the TV. Put your phone away. Sit on your bed or in a comfortable chair with your back supported. Place one hand over your heart and one hand over your lower belly. Close your eyes and let your breath become a little slower than usual. Now imagine that inside of you there is a house. In that house there are many rooms. One warm room where you laughed a lot in your 20s. One messy room where the woman in her 30s tried to hold the whole world together. And maybe one room whose door you almost never open, where the woman in her 40s and 50s had already started to feel tired but kept telling herself, just a little more. Everyone needs me. Picture yourself walking slowly through this house until you're standing in front of the door to that room you haven't visited in a long time. When you open it, notice who is sitting there. It might be the 20-year-old you who thought love meant enduring everything. The 35-year-old you who carried the entire world on her shoulders. The 50-year-old you who knew something was wrong but didn't have the words for it yet. You don't need to see their faces clearly. You just need to know. They are all versions of you. Then with your hands still on your heart and belly, say out loud or silently slowly, "From this moment on, I will not abandon you anymore. I may be afraid. I may not know exactly how to do this yet, but I will not silence your pain just to keep other people comfortable. I choose you. If your voice shakes, let it shake. If tears come, let them fall." This is not weakness. This is what it feels like when finally someone decides to stay with you. And that someone is not your husband, not your children, not anyone else. That someone is you. If you do this every night or a few times a week, there will come a day when you realize you are unexpectedly calm in a situation that used to terrify you. That is the moment your nervous system starts to learn that choosing yourself no longer equals danger. You are not starting over like a young girl trying to prove herself to the world. You are starting over as a queen, returning to the inner throne that has always been yours. Yes, the inner castle might be dusty. Some rooms might have been locked for years. Some walls may be cracked from life's storms. But it is still yours. Your voice is yours. Your body is yours. The time you have left is yours. Your peace is yours to reclaim, not something you have to beg for. In the years behind you, you have lived for many people. You did the best you could. In the years ahead, you have the right to live in harmony with your own heart and your own soul. That doesn't mean you abandon everyone else. It simply means you stop abandoning yourself. If at any point in this video you heard a small know inside you, or even felt a tiny quiet sigh of relief, know this: your journey has already begun. You don't have to walk it alone. But whether someone walks beside you or not, there is one person you can now choose to never leave behind again. The woman sitting right here watching this with a whole second half of life still waiting to be lived as herself.